All right, welcome to the webinar today. My name is Annie Rudin, and I am the founder of PronunciationPro.com. So all of my students that are here today, you have been watching all these videos that I have created over the years and have been working on. I think we originally started this in 2011, so it's been 2010 or 2011, so it's been a little while that we've been working on this. But excited to be here today, and I'm pretty excited about kind of what's happening. And I'm going to be telling you more about what's happening on PronunciationPro.com and get a little bit of feedback actually from all of you so that we can make it even greater and more easy for you to use. So first I wanted to start off, I have this picture of my son playing soccer. And you know, here in America we call it soccer. I know everywhere else calls it football, which makes way more sense. Our football is a little different. But soccer is a big sport in our family. My boys love playing soccer. I didn't play soccer growing up, but I do more now, or I have since I've been an adult, and especially since marrying my husband because he's a big soccer player. But I was thinking this week, and I actually grew up playing all different types of sports, but especially basketball. So basketball is the sport that I love, my #1 love when it comes to sports. So I actually still play basketball regularly. I have a group that I play with on Mondays and Friday mornings. But as I was playing recently, I was thinking about how great the value of sports are and the life lessons that are learned through sports. So I'm going to apply sports and kind of some of the things that we're learning today towards sports. So in sports, no matter what the sports, and let's take soccer for example, sports are all about, getting good at sports is about practice, about repetition, about if you want to be a good soccer player, you need to practice dribbling, shooting, passing. You know, you have to develop these skills, and the only way to develop those skills is through practice. There's not another way. You can't read books about it. You have to do it, and you have to do it consistently, and you have to do it repetitively. So my kids, I'm always telling them, just go kick around. Let's go kick around. Let's go. You know, let's practice these specific skills that their coaches are wanting them to practice, and we go home and we practice them. I was also thinking recently when I was playing basketball. I recently had a baby, so my 4th son is now 3 months old, and I'm getting back into shape. So I've been playing basketball, and my shot is not quite there yet. It's not quite back. And so I kept thinking, oh, I just need to keep shooting. I need to keep shooting, even though I'm missing, I need to keep shooting so that I can get that shot back. And I got thinking about then all of you and how this applies to you is that we're going to make mistakes. We're going to fail. We're going to have those bumps where we aren't doing it the way that we want to do it. We may not be able to pronounce things or may not be able to speak in a way that you want to, but you have to keep practicing. You have to keep trying. And you know, as I'm getting my shot back, I have to remember, okay, use my legs, follow through. You know, there's a lot of, you know, what's the position of my arm? How am I squaring up to the basket to shoot the ball? And I have to get all of those pieces into place to get a good shot and to be able to make it. So we're learning all of those. You're getting all of those skills. You're trying to figure out exactly how to place your mouth, how to place your tongue, how to listen, how to really be able to use your muscles in your mouth and how to use that skill or use that muscle to get the voice and the that speaking voice that you're really wanting. So it's just about practice, it's about repetition, it's about trying, it's about working, and it's just about consistency. So I just wanted to kind of drive that in today, and I'll use that analogy as we're going through some examples. Okay, so oops, let me go ahead and just talk a little bit about what we have going on. So I'm really excited because the Pronunciation Pro course has really gotten to a point now where I think we had 41 people signed up for the webinar today. Usually about half of those show up, and we're almost to half right now with that number, which means that we can do more as a community. We have enough people kind of coming and showing up and wanting to practice together that we can do more. And so what we're doing right now is working on a Pronunciation Pro community site page on the Pronunciation Pro website. And what that involves is the biggest part of that community is going to be about study groups. Okay, so there's going to be a function there where all the students can connect to each other as they'd like. You don't have to if you don't want to, but we all know that learning and growing and studying is done best when we help and support each other. So what we're going to do is put into place more study group situations where both I can do a study group, and it'll probably be similar to these webinars where a few times a week I'll have a certain time that you can show up, and we can, whoever happens to show up at that time, we can practice and answer questions and just practice together. There'll also be opportunity for you as students to connect with each other in practice. And we've already seen that a little bit from these webinars. People who've regularly been showing up to the webinars, I've been able to get them in touch, and they've been studying on their own, which is excellent. That's exactly what we want to see. So we're going to have more of these study groups, ways for you all to connect to each other. One thing that I wanted to ask all of you is, and to get your feedback on, and you could put that in the questions box, kind of write it in there, is that we're trying to decide on what video conferencing tool to use, and we weren't sure if Google Hangout was best. I'll probably use either WebEx or GoToWebinars when I conduct my meetings, or I do my study groups. But as far as you guys connecting with each other, the things that we're trying to figure out is with Google Hangouts, I know you have to have each other's email address, and you might want to keep it a little bit more anonymous than that. So we're trying to find some good video conferencing tools that you can use and connect with each other, and that we can kind of set up or integrate into the website so that you can decide on a study time and then go and use that tool. But thought that I would throw it out to you to see if you have any ideas of some of those video conferencing tools that you already use and are comfortable with, or you think would be a good, that would work well in this situation. So if you do have any ideas, put that in the questions box, and I'll take a look at that after the webinar and work with my programmer in being able to use that, because we have a few narrowed down, but we're not sure. We still would like to just make sure we're getting a good system in place. So there'll be some opportunity there, definitely opportunity there to get study groups and connect all of you together, so that as you're going through the Pronunciation Pro course, that you have those options as you would like. So I'm really excited about that. This is something. Oh, and then in addition to that, so we'll have the ability to connect with other students. There will be forums and topics talking about ESL, talking about the TOEFL exam, talking about all these different topics that tend to come up. We'll have opportunity to talk about those. And then resources. So I have a collection of resources that would be helpful for you, and for you to be able to go to one spot and say, okay, I'm looking for a TOEFL, someone to help me with a TOEFL, or someone to help me with just English. I need more written, practice with writing or reading or all of these different things. So we want to have a good resource there for our students. People that are companies and people that I trust will do a good job that can help you. So resources, announcements, any kind of announcements that I have, new additions to the site, anything like that. You can go, this community, Pronunciation Pro community page will be a place for this. So we're hoping to get this out by the end of this month. So we're really working hard on getting all these pieces into place, and we just want to make sure that it's, it works well for you. So we're excited about that, and just any feedback that you have about that, things that you would like to see in this, I would love to hear it, because I know that there's just, with all of our students, there's just a wealth of information, a wealth of knowledge and experience and expertise, and I want you all to be able to, help each other. There's a saying that I love that says, "I'll lift you and you lift me and we'll ascend together." Just meaning, we can support each other in this whole process of learning to speak English clearly and feel confident doing it. All right, so we're going to get into questions, and I just wanted to make sure, I want to make sure that you kind of know what's coming. So we had several questions emailed to me this week, and so I have all of those in there, but I want to make sure that your questions are still answered if you didn't email me but you showed up to the class today. So if you do, just go ahead and write those in the questions box, and I'll be checking to make sure that we're addressing those as well. So the questions that we have here, just to kind of give you a preview of what we'll be talking about. For fall, we'll be working with your questions on the W sound and the TH to D and the L to TH transition. So he's wondering about that TH to D and then how to connect L to TH. Okay, so that will be first. Lynn, there's some specific words that we're going to work on with you. And then I've broken up your questions. You had 4 questions, so there are 2 questions that are word specific that we'll talk about, and then later on we'll go into the intonation and stress questions that you had, and about the rhythm and kind of what the relationship is between intonation and stress. We'll then have, so that will kind of be later on. So Lynn will address your words first, and then Lynn and Charles had questions about vowels. So I really kind of geeked out. I just did a ton of research on vowels and kind of how to organize it and structure it so that you understand the difference of all the vowel phonemes. So we'll go through those, and then Vinali and Charles want to work on R's. So those are kind of the things that we have. For any of you who have questions in those areas, be sure to go into the questions box and ask about that, because as we're going through a certain topic, I'll ask if anybody else needs to practice that as well. Okay, so those are the topics that we'll be going over today, in addition to any other questions that you might have. Okay, so I just wanted to give that overview here. So Rafal, let's make sure. Rafal, there we go. Rafal, you there?
Yes, hi, I'm here. Yes.
Hi, glad to have you. Okay, you had some great questions, so let's go over those together today. So you're wondering about the W sound, and that sometimes your W sound sounds more like the oo sound, like in you or blue. So let's go ahead and go through some of these words, and let me hear what you're doing, and let's see if I can explain kind of where the mouth needs to be. Okay, so say these 3 words for me. Do you see the was, were, and wore?
No, I just
Oh,
see
okay.
you.
Oh, you just see me? So you might have to just move my video away. And you might be, oh, you know what? Maybe I'm not sharing the right thing. Let me find this here. Okay, how about now? Oh, wait.
No, still just you.
Is everybody else, let me make sure. let me ask the group. What are you guys all seeing?
Okay, now I see that.
Okay. All right. Great. Okay, so let's go into this W, the W sound. So go ahead and say this word for me, these words for me.
Was, were, were.
Okay. And then, so the W sounded good, and we'll put it into a sentence. We'll kind of put it into a sentence here so I can hear it more connected. The second one is were.
Were.
And the third one is war.
Were.
Or. So do that O sound. Or.
War.
There you go. That's much better because I was hearing, instead of war, I was hearing were. So you're doing kind of an ER sound instead of the OR. So we want to make sure war has OR. Okay?
Okay.
So let's say I was coming to class.
I was coming to class.
Okay? Where were you yesterday?
Where were you yesterday?
Okay. The brothers were at war.
The brothers were at war.
Okay. So I'm hearing a really good W sound where your lips are rounded. W, war, war. So it starts with the lips rounded and then it kind of blossoms out. W, w. Okay. The difference between w and what you were saying, the you, ooh, ooh, is that it's starting with the ooh, but then it just stays there. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So blue versus were. Were. Okay? Do you kind of see the difference there in the lip shape?
I mean, to me, it seems like the end of the blue is the same as the beginning of W, of the W sound.
So let's see. So the mouth shape is similar. Ooh, w. So what happens with the W is it's tighter. It's a little bit tighter and it comes out. So your lips are tighter, rounder. W, w. So do that for me. W.
Wa, wa.
And then do ooh.
Ooh.
Do you see how there's no movement there? It's just rounded and it's just ooh, ooh, ooh. So that's the difference there. Wa, wa, and ooh.
Okay, I see.
So Uber, you know, the company starts with that ooh sound. And so say was Uber. Was Uber.
Was Uber.
Do you hear the difference there? So you're starting, both words are starting with a different sound. Was Uber. Can you kind of feel the difference in your mouth shape? Was Uber.
I think I can. I mean, I practice and then.
Okay, but I'm hearing what I'm hearing with your W sound is good. You know, like that's the sound I want to hear. So it's just a matter of getting that movement with the W, whereas the ooh just stays static. Okay?
Okay.
All right, great. Thanks, Rafal. Oh, and actually, let me kind of look at the next one before I let you go. Okay, here's the next one. So that TH to the D. Okay, so this is one of those, and let's go back to our sports analogy here, where repetition. We have to get that repetition in some of these combinations to get it fast. So you had said, when I do it slowly, I'm able to get it, but when I speed up, then it gets lost, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me hear it slowly, and then I'll kind of show you what needs to happen to speed that up. Okay, so say these three words for me.
I don't see them again. I just see you again.
Okay. We'll go just to here. Whenever I go to full screen mode, it's not working for me. So we'll stay right here. Okay. So these three words.
Bathed, clothed, breathed.
Good. So he bathed the kids.
Do you want me to say it?
Yeah, so say that for me. He bathed the kids.
He bathed the kids.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna tell you is that was a very smooth transition that I was hearing from you, and for native speakers, it's probably not going to feel any much more smooth than that, because for me, when I read that, when I say that he bathed the kids, it's really awkward in my mouth. He clothed the kids, clothed the kids. You know, it's an awkward movement. That TH to the D sound is just strange, okay? Because you have to get the, the tongue
I thought it
between
was
the
just
mouth
me.
and you what?
I thought it was just me, so yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
it
so
really
you're not alone in that, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm pretty impressed at how smoothly you are able to do that. So for any other students who are, are having a harder time with that, where you just really can't get that combination, you have to slow it down quite a bit. B, a, d, 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 and then slowly start speeding it up. Just like in sports when you're dribbling, when you're dribbling a soccer ball, you have to do, you kick it once, you're trying to get two in a row, it just takes repetition and practice there. All right, okay, how about the L to the TH sound? So say those three for me.
Although healthy, look at all that.
Okay, that was beautiful. So
Okay.
it might feel a little bit awkward, but you'll want to just keep practicing that. Try and do it faster in a sentence. But the transition there is very, very good. So for those of you who are trying to do these words and you're not able to do it as smoothly as Rafal, although. So what we have here is a dark L, although. And dark L's kind of have a cup shape to it. And this is in week 3, we talk about the dark L. Dark L's kind of have a cup shape to it, so the tongue isn't necessarily hitting the roof of your mouth, but you can produce it with the L touching the roof of your mouth and still get it right. So although, you would just have to touch the roof and then move your tongue. So from the roof of your mouth for the L, although, and then get your tongue between your teeth for that TH sound. All right. So it really is, or you can do the dark L, although, and then put your tongue between your teeth for that TH. Okay. Look at all those healthy people. Say that for me, Rafal. Look at all those healthy people.
Look at all those healthy people.
Okay, good. Very good. So that sounds very fluid to me, very natural. So if it doesn't feel that way, just keep practicing it, repeating it, and it'll start feeling more and more comfortable. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
All right.
Great. Thanks.
Good job, Rafal. Okay, let's go to the next one. And when I go to my full screen, it's not working. So we're going to just go with this. Okay, the next one, Lynn, let me get you in here. Lynn, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go over these 3 words. Word, world, and girl. Okay, the difference here, word and world are very, very similar. You can see kind of the root and phonetics here. Word and world. The only difference is the ol, that dark L. Ol. Okay? So what helps is really breaking it down. So word. So say that for me. Word.
Word.
Mm-hmm.
Word.
And that usually tends to be the better one. World tends to be a little bit more difficult. So the way I like to kind of teach that is do were, and then drop the tongue down. Whirl.
World.
Mm-hmm. World.
World.
Good.
World.
So it's a slight difference between word and world, but it's just that drop of the tongue in our mouth to create that dark L. World.
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 So
World.
get that. So start with the were.
Word.
And then get old.
World.
Yeah, there you go. World. Yeah, do it again.
World.
And get a stronger R. Were.
Old.
Yeah, there you go. So what I like to do is like do 3 words and then drop it into old. World.
World. World.
Yeah, okay. So we're gonna get that R, that strong R in there before we drop. World.
World.
Do it again.
World.
Yeah, perfect. Do it again.
World.
Stronger R. You're kind of dropping the R a little bit.
A little bit hard.
Yeah, so just keep that strong R before you drop.
Yeah. Yes. World.
Good. Good, I like it. Okay, so the same situation is for girl. You're going to have girl.
Girl.
Yeah, there you go. Girl. Yeah.
Girl.
Stronger R. Yeah, there you go. Girl.
Go.
So I'm going to stop you because I'm hearing g instead of gur. Like a tiger. Gur.
Go.
And then girl.
Girl.
Good.
Girl.
Good. Perfect. Do that again. Sounds awesome.
Yes, I will try.
Okay.
Girl.
Awesome.
Yes,
Okay, so then do world girl.
Sorry, the first word.
Yeah, so do world girl.
World girl. World girl.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Great job with that. Okay, I'm going to open it up to see if anybody else wants to do these 2 words. If you want to do these 2 words, do the raise hand icon, or these 3 words. All right, Charles. Here, Lynn, I'm going to come back to you for the next question, okay? I'm going to mute you for now.
Yes.
All right. All right, Charles.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, hello. Okay,
Yeah,
so
great.
let's do these 3. So word, world, girl.
Word, girl.
Okay, so these
Word,
these 2
word,
sounded the same to me. So we gotta make sure we get that dark L in there. World.
world,
Yeah, and then get
word,
the D at the end.
world,
Yeah, there you go. Do it again.
world,
Yes, good. Now do girl.
girl,
Yes. So do the 3.
word, world, girl.
So it's just kind of a slight difference, but that drop in the tongue is the difference between these. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, good, Charles. We'll be coming back to you a little bit later here. Okay, I saw a couple of hands before, but now I don't see any. Does anybody else want to try this? Carmen. All right, Carmen, you there?
Hi, yes, I'm here. Thank you.
All right, good. Let's try these. So save the 3 for me, and then we'll kind of go back.
Word, world, girl.
Good. So you're kind of getting that dark L in there. So world, girl. Do that again.
Word, world, girl.
Good. All right, I love it. Good job, Carmen.
Thank you.
All right, Abul. Abul, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right,
How are
excellent.
you?
Good, how are you?
Good, good.
Good, okay, let's try these three.
Word, world, girl.
Good.
Word,
So,
world, girl.
and just do world, girl.
World, girl.
Okay, where
World,
in the world is that girl?
where the word in girl?
So where in the world is that girl?
Where the word is the girl.
Okay, so this one, world, in sentence sounded like word. So I want you to slow it down so you can get that dark L in the sentence. Where in the world is that girl?
Where in the world is the girl?
Perfect. Good job. Okay, so yeah, just be sure to slow it down so we're getting all parts of the word. Okay?
Okay.
All right, good job. All right, and then Chandra. You there, Chandra?
Yes, hi, how are you?
Hello, good. All right, try these three for me.
World, world, girl.
Good, okay, and then do where in the world is that girl?
Where in the world that girl?
Okay, girl. Do that again, girl.
Girl,
Yeah.
girl.
So where in the world is that girl?
Where in the world that girl?
Good. One thing that you did a great job with this, Chandra, and I want to point it out is you kind of there's kind of this way that you hung on that word to get that extra sound in there, and that's very common for native speakers to do. Where in the world, like our intonation kind of went up and kind of hung on that word, so we could get that extra sound in there. Where in the world is that girl?
Where in the world that is that girl?
Mm-hmm. Good. So you're kind of hanging on those sounds to get the full movement and those full sounds in there. That's excellent. Good job, Chandra.
Thank you very much.
Okay, good. All right, I think we got all the hands, so I'll pull those down. Good. Okay, so let's go to the next one. And it's too bad that the system's not working so well. I don't want to throw this all at you, but let's go ahead and kind of look through this. So Lynn, we're going to come back to your question, another one of your questions. So I'm unmuting you now, Lynn, so I can kind of talk with you. But you asked to explain more about the relation among the phonetics, these phonemes for vowels. So I wanted to explain a little bit more about these vowels. And please let me know if I'm not answering your question the way you're specifically wanting. But let me kind of give it a shot, and then you can let me know if there's another take that you're hoping for. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, so the vowels in English are A, E, I, O, and U, and sometimes Y. So like in cry, it's a vowel. The Y is a vowel, but in like yellow, it's considered a consonant. Okay? So cry, but you'll notice that Y is always, as a vowel is always going to have the sound of another vowel, if that makes sense. So we don't have a Y down here to represent cry. We have I. So it's the same as this long vowel, kite. Okay, so what we have for vowels is we have long vowels, we have short vowels, and then I kind of put this as other. So there's diphthongs, and there's, just kind of other vowels. And maybe you all know better than me kind of how to categorize these. But these are the sounds the English sounds that we're going to be using. Now, there are some other variations of vowel sounds that you can find in the International Phonetic Alphabet, but those are more kind of dialect or regional accents in English. This is more of the standard American. These are the sounds that are considered to be part of the standard American English accent. Okay? So the long vowels, we have A, like in date. We have E, like in seat. We have I, like in kite. We have O, like in hope. And we have, you know, so A, E, I, O, and U. A, E, I, O, and U. So the U, I do more of a U. So it's more like this vowel plus a Y sound at the beginning is the way I distinguish it. So cute, cute. And that kind of pulls in that invisible Y concept from week 3 or week 2, where we add the Y sound to get into that U sound. Cute. Okay, so A, E, I, O, U for the long vowels are these. A, E, I, O, U for short vowels are these. A, like in map, A. E, like in get, get. Okay, E. I, like in sit, sit, which sit and seat are going to be different, right? These sit here, have a seat. A lot of my Spanish speakers have a hard time with those two. We have ah, like in not. Now I have to explain here, and this is something we're going to go over later with Charles, is that there are 2 phonetic sounds for ah in the International Phonetic Alphabet. There's this one and this one. I have simplified it to just this because some people can hear the difference between these 2 and some can't. And I teach it as one sound because it really, in connected speech and to native speakers, there probably isn't going to be a difference between these 2 sounds. And we'll kind of break those 2 sounds apart in a minute. Same thing goes for the So this is like in up. Okay, So there's 2 different phonetic sounds that I have simplified into one. One is the schwa and one is this one. The difference here is the stress, where the stress is on the word. But to an untrained ear, to most native English speakers, it sounds the same as far as, and the mouth movement is pretty much the same. So I've narrowed it down to just okay? And then we have like in book, which is a little different than blue, like blue, and So say those 2 for me, and yeah. So is kind of more in the middle of the mouth. Is really with those tight lips. And then ow, like in how, and boy, in oi, like in boy. So that's kind of the breakdown of the vowels phonetically in this program, in Standard American English, and specifically in this program, the way I kind of break it down here. Okay? Does that kind of help with that question that you were wondering about, or did you have another kind of angle on that question?
Yes, because I see the vowels with the title Rudolph phonetics vowels in the week 5, and like the map. Yeah. Start it.
Oh, okay. So let me actually pull up. I'm going to pull out that map because I thought so. I'm going to share that map with you. Sure. Okay, is this the one that you're talking about?
Like the movement of the mouth from closed to open.
In the worksheet?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay.
In the worksheet. Yeah, this. Yeah.
Okay, so let me go into the workbook. So in week 5, right? Week 5 material. So let me go all the way down. So do you know what page that was on?
I have no pay.
Oh, that's right. It's not, okay, so is it in the this worksheet?
Yeah, no, no, another. You give me only.
So is it in the, sorry, so close to open.
Yeah.
Is it oh, okay. Is it this one? But is it this vowels chart?
Yeah, yes, that's right.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So here's, and I hesitated to post this because I wasn't sure if it was going to help or confuse more. But basically what we're talking about is E. So E
Yeah.
has a more of a closed position in your mouth. E versus
E.
ah. Do you see that difference? Ah is wide open. E, ah.
E. Ah.
So everything in between is kind of between that closed position and the open position. So E, I, A kind of goes from open to close a little bit, right? A,
E.
ah, or sorry,
Yeah.
there you go, and then ah. So do you see how, and maybe watch my mouth, if you can see my video, watch my mouth and how my mouth kind of gradually opens more and more. E, I, A, ah. As I go,
Yes, I know.
you see how it gradually kind of opens as I'm going through those sounds? So that's what that means. Closed to open is just how my mouth is shaped.
Yeah.
And what this is talking about is the E is more in the front of the mouth, ah is more in the back of the mouth. So when we're talking front to back, O, ooh, there's kind of a quality that's more in the back of the mouth versus E is in the front. Ooh, the vibration is happening in the back.
Yeah, yes.
So that's what this chart is. And maybe what I need to do is just create a video that explains a little bit just specifically what this means. Does that help?
Yes. Very useful. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Understand. Yeah.
Good, excellent. Okay, so good. I'm going to go on and kind of explain a little bit more between a couple of vowels, but we'll get back to your intonation and stress questions later on, okay?
Yes. Okay.
All right, thanks, Lynn. All right, I'm going to check the questions box to see if anybody is kind of looking there. Okay. And if anybody has questions with vowels as we're going through here, be sure to write them in the questions box. Okay, Charles had a question about, remember how I was saying how I reduced some sounds, and I should have written the way that I write them here, in here. But Charles, I want to go through with you. Charles, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, great. So Charles, you're telling me that these sound different to you. There's what I see is just ah, that I write as an O, ah. And then what I write as just a U, are these sounds. But you're hearing a difference between the two. So I want to kind of work through that with you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so let's contrast a couple. So father and fault. Say those two for me.
Father, thought.
Okay, and what's happening is the quality changes a little bit because of that L sound in here. Fault, father. When I say it, fa, 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 it could be either one. Father, fa, old. So that's why I categorize them into the same sound. But I want you to do that same thing and let me hear if I hear a difference. Fa, as in father,
Fa.
and fa, as in fault.
Okay. Fa, fa, father, fa, fa, fault.
Okay. So for you, you're hearing two different sounds in those two?
Not exactly. I mean, it seems safe to me for this sound, but the most difficult for me is just like the first one, always, always. What I can hear is what I say is all, like the sound all, always, always, not
Okay.
always.
Yeah, so that's because of the L there. All. So the always kind of gets into more of that dark L sound. All.
All,
Always. Same with
always.
fault. All. Fault. Because of that L sound, it's going to change it. So maybe let's try awful. Ah. So I'm thinking of like want, aunt, want, and awful. To me, those are they're pretty much the same sound. But I want you to kind of tell me with this one, what are you hearing? What do you say that one for me?
Okay, awful, awful, awful.
Okay, and then
Big,
do this one.
want, want, want.
Want. Okay. Okay, interesting. So because the difference is just so minor, I kind of lump them into the same and just say if you're kind of generally in this area, you're going to get the sound right. So for you, because you're hearing them different, you can definitely do those different. So like in these where you weren't sure which one it was, go ahead and say them for me and let me hear if I'm hearing them correct. Okay?
Okay, maybe for the first one, hot or hot,
There you go.
not, cup, gone, gone. Yeah,
Okay, so I can hear how you're kind of you're comparing those two. So that's a really cool, great way for me to be able to hear the difference there. So do those two for me. Again, do that again.
hot, hot. Oh, sorry, not, cup, cup. That's that's the
Yeah.
difference.
So that's interesting because when I hear this, what I'm hearing is kind of not exactly nut, but somewhere in between ah and And
Okay.
so we want it to be not ah, not. So hot for you, I would say it is the same as so not and cost and job are kind of the same sound. So not and cost, cop and cost, gone and cost. Those are going to be the same ah sound. But the way that you're pronouncing them, there's just such a slight difference. Even I don't think even a native speaker is going to hear a huge difference as you connect it. So the um, cop was not gone. Say that for me. The cop was not gone.
The cup was not gone.
So that sounds good. It sounds very clear. It sounds very accurate the way you're saying it. Okay, so whether it's one or the other, I think that's kind of, it's probably not going to affect anything really in your spoken English.
Okay, you mean so I can just pronounce cup, right?
Yeah, cop, ah.
Cup. But for me, cup seem produce all, not ah, right? Because the first should be ah, the next is all. That's the difference
Oh,
for
okay,
me.
so yeah. So what you're doing
Ah,
this,
all.
that's what it's going to be. Ah. So if you err on the side, I think more often you're going to have words that have this sound than this sound. So I think all of these, except for flawed, I think all the rest of them, flawed and tall, are going to go in this category for you, but all the rest of them will be here. So if you're not sure, I would put it into this category, because I don't think that category is going to happen way more often than this category. Okay?
Okay.
So I can hear as you contrast them, I can hear the difference for you. And so that's interesting to kind of hear that. Whereas in my pronunciation, it's all the same. It's all the same. Same thing with above and about. So those ones, I think you have it figured out, kind of the difference. And it's just about the stress, where the stress is.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right, Charles, I think we'll come back to you for the R's a little bit later. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Charles. And for the rest of you, if you're not hearing the difference there, don't worry about it. That is perfectly fine to kind of lump it into kind of that ah and between these two. It won't affect how others are understanding you well. Oh, okay. So the next one is R's with Vinali and Charles. So Vinali, you there? Vinali? Let's see if we can get your mic working. Vinali, I'm going to have you, let's see. I'm going to bring up my workbook. See if you can get the audio working for you. I'm going to pull up some R sounds. And we'll get that working. So while you're pulling that up, I'll work with Charles and whoever else wants to work with the R's. Let me get R's. There we go. Okay. So Vinal, your mic is unmuted. If we can get that to work so that I can hear you. Oops. Let's see. Everybody hearing me okay? Let me get my, okay. All right, Charles, I'm back to you. Hi, Charles.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, so Vinali says he's at work, so can't participate. But Vinali, one thing that I wanted to mention for you is that R sound, I know that you're going to be working with Andrea. Andrea's our other speech pathologist that works with a lot of our Plus and Premier students. And so Andrea you'll be working with her, and she is excellent in getting the R sound. So I know that we tried last webinar for just a few minutes to kind of get that sound right. But she'll be able to kind of do some exercises with you to be able to get that R sound. So I'm excited for you to work with her. All right, one thing that I did want to mention, and this is a question that Charles and I were emailing back and forth with this week, is with the R sound, and I think it's a great thing to bring up for our other students, because there might be some others that have this question too. And the question was about kind of the position of your tongue for the R sound. So the way I teach the R sound in the Pronunciation Pro course is that your tongue tip is down and the back of your tongue is kind of bunched up in the back of your throat. So that smooth R, rah, 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 where the tongue is really kind of curled down more than it is curled up. Okay, there is an R sound called the retroflexed R, and that's where that tongue kind of comes up and it's more like where that tongue kind of comes and is rolled up. It doesn't necessarily touch the roof of the mouth, but there is a little bit of an upward roll to it. So this is what happens. I prefer, I think it's closer to what native speakers do to kind of have it down, but I recognize that some students have that retroflect R and can still produce the correct R sound even with their tongue up. The trick though is that retroflexed R, if that tongue comes up too much, it sounds like an L sound. So you know, there's a very slight difference between the retroflect R and the L sound. So if you can get your tongue down, great. If you can't, then we'd want to make sure that that retroflect R just sounds the way it needs to sound. So that's what I'm trying to do here with Charles today. And so if any of you, if you're saying the R sound and you're noticing that your tongue is up, maybe do that raised hand icon in here, and I'll have you read through a few words so that I can hear you and say, yes, that's fine, or no, bring that tongue down a little bit, okay? All right, so let's go into some of these R's. Charles, is there one position of the R that you feel like, oh, I really need work on that, or just all of them? Charles?
Yes. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
That's
sorry.
the question.
Is there one specific, because there's the initial R, R blend, and R vowels. Is there one that you would especially like to practice together today?
I think we can try three of them.
Okay, so let's go through the words first with them. So go through these 10 words for me. Let me hear it.
Okay. Write, read, run, river, really, room, read, remember, reach, rock.
Okay, so that is a great R sound. So you're saying, Charles, that your tongue is up a little, your tongue tip is up a little bit in those?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
so,
that's how I okay. Because
no, go
that's
ahead.
how I okay. Because that's how I study from high school, you know. Because this is the first time I know how the native American speaker will just like you move your tongue just like that way.
Right.
This is just a new information, and I do some research, not research, just search on the Google. Yes, that's real, and it's quite interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So so the way you're saying it though, with that tongue a little bit up, I'm still hearing a very clear R sound in this initial position. So I would say don't change what you're doing, because you're able to get that R sound correct. It sounds correct. So we don't want to mess with that. So it would be really tricky and take a lot of work and a lot just to not even change the sound of it. So we'll keep it that. Go ahead.
Because I just try with your method, but just a little oral. I just cannot produce the sound with that tongue movement.
Yeah, so it's not worth the effort of changing it, because it sounds really good. So let's do the R blend. Let me hear those.
Okay. Treat, price, great, free, dry, grip, grow, crazy, trick, fresh.
Do crib again, because I was hearing grib with a G sound instead of the crib.
Crib.
There you go. Good. Okay, now let's go do some of the R vowels.
Okay. Start, car, north, war, work, turkey, standard, dinner.
Oops, let's see. I lost your audio. Okay, so real quick, while your audio's kind of coming back. So in the R vowels, this is where the retroflexed R tends to sound a little bit different than a native speaker, is because your tongue is wanting to curl up even more for these, instead of, so with the initial and the R blends, the R sounds perfect. With the R vowels, there's a little bit of a quality difference where your tongue's kind of wanting to pull a little bit harder instead of being a little bit more relaxed. So start. So Charles, let me unmute you again. Charles, you there? Okay, have a little bit of audio here. So Charles, I'll come back to you on those ones. But that's where we'd want to practice is with those R vowels. I'm seeing some raised hands, so I'm wondering if this is something that you guys are wanting to try out. Okay, so Akash, I'm going to unmute you. Akash, you there?
Yeah. Hi, Nate.
Okay. Hi. Are you interested in working on the R?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to have you do the same thing I did with Charles. Let me just hear the initial R blends and then R vowels.
Yeah, sure. Write, read, run, river, really, room, read, remember, reach, rock.
Okay, so is your tongue kind of up in that retroflex R position?
No.
No, it's down. Okay.
I'm trying to keep it down.
Okay, so I'm hearing a good one because for you, tell me what your native language is.
Hindi.
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking is that the Hindi pronunciation with the R is going to be more of that really, where the where the R comes up and touches and kind of rolls a little bit. So you'll really want to pull that down. It's more the Asian languages that tend to have that retroflexed R, or are taught that way. Okay, so let's get into the R blends. Say these for me.
Treat, prize, grade, free, dry, crib, grow, crazy, trick, fresh.
Good, nice control there. You're getting that smooth sound. So you're getting it in words. So now you'll just want to slowly move it into like the sentences and kind of slowly build that up. But that control is excellent. You're doing great with that control. Okay, now with the R blends. I mean the R vowels.
Start, car, north, war, work, turkey, standard, dinner, cow, ear.
Good. So you kind of just want to make sure that the tongue is kind of bunching more in the back and getting that strong So ear.
Okay, ear.
Yep. So that's much better. So the way that you're because how would you normally say start? Like just naturally.
Start.
Yeah. So that sounds
Is this
good.
correct?
Yeah. So that's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And say kind of go through these list of words, the R vowels just naturally.
Start, car, north, war, work, turkey, standard, dinner, care, ear.
So the way that you kind of naturally do that, that's correct. So what I find with kind of my Hindi students is that it's the initial and R blend that tend to want to get rolled, whereas the R vowels tend to be okay. Okay, so when you're concentrating on the R's, it's more the initial and the R blends that you'll want to make sure your tongue stays down for.
Well, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay,
Okay,
can I start with the sentence as well, like 4 to 5 sentences?
Sure, let's do some of these up here since we know that the R vowels are fine. Let's do 4 sentences here.
Shall I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
I enjoy fresh baked bread. Please grab the broom and get to work. I like the fresh smell of grass clippings. Am I crazy to think I can win the prize?
Excellent. Okay, so that was perfect. That's exactly how I want you to be practicing. Okay.
Is the intonation good? Like, am I doing it good?
Yeah.
About the intonation?
Yeah. So the intonation's really good. So do that number 4 again. Let me listen, because sometimes I'm more zoned into the sounds, and then I have to kind of zoom out and listen to the rhythm. Okay, go ahead with number 4.
Am I crazy to think I can win the prize?
Perfect. Yep, exactly. Because we have that. You're stressing. Am I crazy to think I can win the prize? And it's a yes or no question, so we're going up, right?
It's going up at the end.
Yep. Excellent. Good job, Cash.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Good. All right. Let's have. Let's see. I'm just going to go down the list here to 2, and then we'll have when. When, Rafal, Sunny. And then we'll see if we can kind of get Charles back here. So Chatu, you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, excellent. You want to try out some of these R's?
Yeah.
Okay, so go through these word practice R's.
Okay. The okay. Okay. Right, read, run, river, really, room, read, remember, reach, rock.
Good. That's a good strong R. I like it. Okay, now let's do the R blend.
Yeah. Treat, prize, great, free, dry, crab, grow, crazy, trick, fresh.
Good. Okay, I'm going to add one to two. The lesson on the short I and the long E in week 6, I think it is, you'll want to really study, okay? So the difference between crib and creeb, creeb, we want to get that short I in there, okay? So just, I know that you've been doing the program, working on things, but just in week 6, you'll want to really practice that, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, but the R's are sounding excellent. Okay, so let's go through the R vowel.
Yeah. Start, car, north, war, work, turkey, standard, dinner, care, ear.
Okay, do this for me. Work. And turkey. Yeah, good. Okay, so a nice strong R. I think if there's anything to practice, it's probably just those R vowels to make sure that the tongue gets pulled back far enough. Because what happens is like turkey, sometimes it can just be turkey instead of turkey. Instead of, so like work instead of work. So we want to make sure that R is strong enough for those R vowels, okay?
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, as you practice that. Good job.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, I cut you off a little bit. Okay, when.
Hello.
Hello, you're up.
Yes, hello. Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Okay, so you want to go through the R's here?
Yeah, might I try a paragraph? Because I knew that the
Yes.
problem that I have is the vowel R.
Okay, let's go through the R vowel paragraph here.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
And one thing that I want to mention too is that repeatedly going through the same paragraph over and over again, it's okay. It's not that, we want you can go through and practice other paragraphs and other words, but it's just like, you're dribbling and you're shooting and you're doing these things in a sport. That same repetition is going to carry over into other situations. And so you just it's okay to get the same repetition. Okay, so go ahead here.
Okay, I hope the car will start in this cold weather. I have been tardy 4 times now in 2 weeks. I really have to be at work on time, especially today. My boss is starting standard evaluation of all employees. I'm nervous that my boss will think I am a bad worker and fire me. This Thursday, my neighbor Mark will look at the car. I hope he can repair it so I don't have to keep being tardy to work.
Okay, good. All right, so there you kind of were jumping back and forth, and this is what tells me you almost have it. You're kind of like at 80% here, is because you were jumping back and forth between having kind of a little bit more relaxed R to having that really strong R. So I know that you have it in there. It's just a matter of getting it every single time. Okay, so like with four, do that for me. 4.
4.
4 times.
4 times.
There you go. So you have it. It's just a matter of making sure that every time your tongue is pulled back far enough.
So I need to make it stronger?
Yes, stronger. So the boss is starting standard evaluations. Do that for me.
My boss is starting the standard evaluations of all employees.
Good. And I liked how you really emphasize that, because as you're practicing and as you really emphasize it, what's happening is that you're kind of strengthening that muscle. You're pulling it really far back and getting comfortable with that, so that in normal conversation, you're not going to say, and just say, oh, what's the standard, for that. It's not, you're not going to say that in conversation, but while you're practicing, it's okay to overemphasize some things, because what it's doing is just really engaging that tongue. It's really engaging your muscles so that it's strengthening it in those practice times.
So
okay.
You mean when we practice, we should emphasize as much as possible?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, especially at the beginning, as you're trying to strengthen that tongue to kind of get those strong movements. Really emphasizing it is good, and then as you go along, you can kind of tone it down a little bit more. But but in this situation, because you're kind of in between relaxing and having that strong R and a weak R, I want you to be really working on pulling that tongue back. Okay?
Okay, gotcha.
All right,
Okay.
Good job, Wen.
Thank you.
All right, Rafal. Yep.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Again.
Okay, you want to try the R sound here?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I noticed that my tongue also goes up, but I don't know if
okay.
there's a difference in pronunciation.
And Rafal, what's your native language?
Polish.
Polish. Okay, so that's going to be a little bit different than some of the other variations on the R. So let me hear the R sound for you. Let's go through the three different R positions.
Write, read, run, river, really, room, read, remember, reach, rock.
Okay, very good. So if your tongue is coming up a little bit, it's okay. I wouldn't do anything to change that.
Okay.
Okay, and then let's do R blend.
Treat, prize, great, free, dry, crib, grow, crazy, trick, fresh.
Perfect. Yep, I wouldn't change anything about that. Now R blends. R vowels.
Start, car, north, war, work, turkey, standard, dinner, care, ear.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, I would say keep going with all those sounds. Is that how you normally say it, or are you kind of trying to adjust your mouth a little bit?
I don't know. I'm probably not trying that hard when I speak normally, but I will try.
Okay, so just in that explanation, the way I was hearing your R's was great. So if that was how you normally say your R's, then I would say just stay with that. Okay?
Okay.
All right, good job, Rafal. And Sunny. I'm going to start with R vowels with you, Sunny, because I know that's the... You there, Sunny? Oh. Let's see. Sunny, I'm not hearing you. I'm going to pull over to Charles again and see. Charles, you there?
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry.
Okay, good. Okay, so let's jump back into the R vowel here, because that was where I was hearing the difference, was in the R vowels. So say that again. Say the R vowels again for me. Oh, and Sunny, you're back. I can see that your microphone's working, so I'm going to actually come back to you, Sunny, okay?
Great.
Okay, so Charles, go ahead.
Start, car, north, war, work, turkey, standard, dinner, care, ear.
Okay, so let's see if I can kind of replicate so that you can hear the difference. So standard, standard versus standard, standard. So this is kind of the difference in the R sound. So the way you're saying it, I would say, it's still a clear R. I don't think I would have a trouble. There wouldn't be any trouble understanding. But there is a quality difference in the way it's pronounced. That's a little bit different than the way a native speaker would. So I'm going to contrast the two different ways. So the first way I'm going to say a retroflexed R, and then the second way I'm going to say the smooth R. And you tell me if you can hear the difference. Okay?
Okay.
So here would be standard, 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 standard.
I mean, the second one is better. I mean, is it?
Okay, so the second one is the smooth one, and the first one was that sound. So there is a little bit of, like, what I'm trying to say is there is a little bit of a quality difference, but in normal speech, I don't think it's going to affect how well someone's going to understand you. I think they're still going to hear the R, but there's just going to be a little bit of a quality difference from a native speaker. So you have to decide, is it worth it to me to sound exactly like a native speaker, you know, to train your mouth to come down, or are you okay with just having a little bit of a quality difference?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Did you have a question?
But it's okay. Maybe we can try another word, just like car. How's the sorry? What's the difference?
So let's do car.
Yeah.
Car is the retroflexed R. So let me do retroflex and then normal. Car, 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 car.
Okay, maybe let me try car.
Yeah.
Car.
Yeah.
But
so
that car.
Do it again.
But I still how to say, curl my tongue back.
Okay, so maybe what you were doing is you didn't do it as pulled, you know, so your tongue maybe is not as rounded, but if you loosen that up a little bit, then your tongue might be coming up a little bit, but won't be as strong of a retroflexed as.
Maybe I can try again. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Start, car, north, war, work, turkey, standard, dinner, care, ear.
Okay, so that I feel like that was better, where your tongue maybe wasn't as curled up, a little bit looser that way, and there was a better quality to it, definitely. Okay, so practice that. I would say it's only in the R vowels for you. Okay, Charles?
Okay, thank you.
All right, good job. All right, and then Sunny. Hi, Sunny.
Hey, Annie.
Hey. Okay, so what would you like to work on with the R's? I know we've done a number of different things. What are you kind of?
I need the one with the river.
Oh, okay. So the R initial. Yep. Okay, first do the words for me.
Okay.
And if anybody, real quick, if anybody has to leave, you're not going to offend me. I know that we're kind of going long. And so if you have to leave, thank you for coming, and I appreciate, you know, you being here. But if you'd like to stay and kind of work on some things, I'll stay for a little bit longer. Okay. All right, Sunny, go ahead.
Right, we, one, river, ready, room, red, remember, reach, walk.
Okay, do the beginning ones again. Right.
Right, read, one, river, ready, room, red, remember, reach, walk.
Okay, the only one that is just that word. So it's just because of that V sound. So,
okay.
So break it down. Red,
were, river.
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 Do it again.
River.
There you go.
River. No.
Break it down again. River.
River.
Okay, do this one. Very, very, very.
Very.
How about brave?
Brave.
No, get that V at the end. Brave.
Brave.
Do it again. Brave. Whoa.
Brave.
Good. Do it again.
Brave.
Good. Okay, so here's what I want you to do this week, Sunny, is I want you to Google
Mhm.
I want you to Google the phrase words that have R and V.
That have R and V.
Okay, so
And
what
V
happens
sounds.
whenever I'm
Okay.
trying to find examples of specific, word combinations, I type that in, and then there's these sites that come up that are more for like Scrabble players, people who are playing the game Scrabble.
Mhm.
And so they have lists of words that have R, specific combinations. So if you Google words that have R and V, then you'll be able to come up with lists of words that you can practice, that you can transition from that R to the V. Because really the other words that I'm hearing are good. It's just that V and R combination that you're struggling with.
Got it. Thank you,
Okay,
Annie.
you're welcome. Okay, I'm going to go through and just kind of look real quick. Oh, sorry,
Annie,
Sunny. I'm going to go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
um, can you tell me how to remember the linking rule? Like I'm trying to like how you remember all the rule when you're like normal conversation to use them.
Okay, so linking, really, I talk about the rules because I want you to kind of have a frame of reference while you're practicing. But really, linking, the essence of linking is just how do we connect words together from one word to the next. And you do it all the time in the middle of sentences. You're constantly linking vowel to vowel, consonant to vowel, consonant to consonant. You're linking all these together without even thinking about it. So now what we're trying to get into your head is just that there's no difference between the words like reading. There's no difference between, let's try this. So reading, let's see, what's another example? We see dad. Okay, so here's an example of this. So reading, you have the E, reading. See dad has see dad. Okay, so you have the E to the D, the E to the D. So looking at linking, just think, okay, I've just got to fluidly move from one word to the next without a break. And to do that, it's exactly what we do in the middle of words, reading, see dad. Does that make sense?
So what you're saying is like you use it all the time. So how do I know that am I using correctly, following the rule, or?
So what you're doing,
how can you?
Yeah, so you are doing a great job of connecting words together. If you record yourself talking and you hear there are breaks in the words that you are saying, like if there's breaks in between and you're kind of hearing this pause and this breaking sound, then that means you're not linking. But for you, Sunny, I'm hearing a lot of linking together. So you're doing a really great job flowing from one word to the next. The trick for you is to make sure that you're not deleting any sounds in between. So in an effort to like, my dad is awesome. Okay, so my dad is awesome. So one thing that you have the tendency to do is drop the D here, right? So you would be saying, my dad is awesome. My dad is awesome. And we want to make sure that you get the D in there. My dad is. My dad is.
Awesome. Yes, because I remember Andrew told me that because linking will help me because my habit is dropping the ending sound, so able to link it to the next word probably able to help me to like sound more fluent.
Yep, exactly. I'm just gonna. So here's what I just heard from you.
Okay.
Is you were deleting the S in because, and you said because linking, because linking. So what we want to do is put the ending on there, because linking.
Because linking.
Yeah. So we're going to get that ending sound in there, but we're going to go ahead and just move it into the next word. So your trick is just to make sure, and it's really just S and D's, because you did that. The next word, you said the next word is, do the next word is, and we want to get that D. Word is. Word is.
To the next word is.
Word, no, word is.
Word.
Make sure there's contact with that D. Word is.
Word is.
Okay, so that's the two things that you have to focus on. When you're reading out loud, whenever there's an S at the end and a D at the end, make sure you get that ending sound and you just connect it to the next word.
Okay, SD ending word.
Word. Get that D?
Word. Word. Okay, I will search with those words to practice too.
Good,
yes.
Good, perfect. All right, good job, Sunny.
All right, thank you.
All right, excellent. I'm just going to go through the questions here. So when I see that you have a question, we'll look at that. Okay, good. All right, we're going to end on when here. Let me look at you. And what's going to be great, I'm excited about the community page for this purpose, is that we can have more of these practice sessions throughout the week on that community page, because we're really getting a lot of people. I used to only do a webinar for an hour because there weren't as many people showing up, but now that we have more people showing up, we need to do more of these practice sessions for you guys, so that you can make sure that you're getting regular help. Okay, Wen, are you there?
Yes.
All right, so you had a question about a paragraph with ing and kx.
Yes.
Okay, ing and kx. So let me just even think here.
So maybe in your bonus lesson, you have the in paragraph.
Oh, okay. Let me think. I have that on another hard drive somewhere else. So I don't actually have the ing. Do you have it there?
I just posted on the question box.
Oh, okay. Let me see. All right, go ahead and will you just read that for me? Let me just listen to it.
Okay. My challenging and upbringing has influenced my professional writing and youth counseling over the years. I write sparingly, but when I do, I am usually reminiscing my childhood in Birmingham.
Yeah, Birmingham, good.
As a kid, I was singled out because my social skills were alarmingly bad. Writing for troubled youth, as well as counseling them, was created endearing friendships and inspiring stories. Intervening early on and identifying their problems can produce promising results.
Okay, so what's happening now is you're doing a great job getting the ing ending in there. So I know that before it was kind of you're dropping some sounds and having a hard time getting the ing ending. You're doing you're doing great getting that ing sound, and now we just need to connect it to the next word. Okay, so that's the biggest part. So and the other one, just say this word for me: social.
Social
skills. Do that for me. Social skills.
Social skills.
Good. So with that word social, you just want to, whenever there's an S and an SH in a word, sometimes it's, they get mixed up. So social. So you want to make sure you have the S and then the SH. Social.
Social skill.
Okay. So I'm going to have you go through that paragraph again, and what I want you to do is whenever you come into an ing ending, think about, okay, I'm just going to connect it right into the next word. my challenging upbringing, my challenging upbringing has influenced my professional writing and youth counseling over the years.
My question here, what makes me confused and don't know what to do is that the ing sound, what is the end of that? I mean, do I say ing? So with the next word, should I say ng? Like for example, bringing a cup to me. So do I say bringing a cup to me, or I say bringing a cup to me?
So what's happening is you're going to kind of push off, your tongue is going to push off more of the G sound in the back of your throat. So challenging upbringing. So in that first sentence, my challenging upbringing my challenging upbringing. Do that for me.
I just said my challenging upbringing.
Yes, exactly. So you're kind of pushing off that G. Challenging upbringing.
Okay. So should I say gup right here as the linking? Gup.
Yeah.
So it's the g at the end of the ing. Okay. So it's the ing g. So challenging up.
Yes, that's how it's linked.
Okay.
So you're going to push off that G. So try the paragraph again and just kind of work on getting that, jumping off of that G sound to go into the next word.
Yeah, just before I practice, I read it. So the rule is the ing ending sound. So so it's with the ending sound g.
Yes.
Okay, so every time I connect, I start with the g.
Yes. So let me hear it because I want to make sure because it's not as strong as if we were saying, the bug is. But the bug is. So let me just kind of hear the quality and make sure that we can adjust that as needed.
Great. Okay. My challenging upbringing.
That's all right.
I'm fumble. My challenging upbringing has influenced my professional writing and youth counseling over the years. I write sparingly, but when I do, I'm usually reminiscing my childhood in Birmingham. As a kid, I was singled out because my social skills were alarmingly bad. Writing for troubled youth, as well as counseling them, has created endearing friendships and inspiring stories. Intervening early on and identifying their problems can produce promising results.
Okay, I loved that. Okay, there was a lot better flow to that than the first time you said it. So the first time you said it, you were getting the ing in there, but you were also kind of pausing every time after every ing word. Yeah. But that last time, you were getting the ing ending, and then you were moving on to the next one very fluidly. Okay. So that's how I want you to practice now, is to get the ing in there, but then move it into the next word.
So is the linking rule is the 100% rules, or you just do it as comfortable, as how comfortable it is, but it's not like an absolute rule.
Right. So it's not. So the linking rules, what I'm kind of explaining there is this: if you slowed it down, if you really slowed it down, here's what's happening between those. But really, the best thing to think about is just to think, I just need to move from one word to the next. And if I find a word that I'm having a hard time moving from one word to the next, I need to practice that. And maybe I need to break it down and say, what sounds are there and what am I having trouble with? But essentially, most of the time, we're just going to have that thought of just like, I'm just going to move from one word to the next as if it's just one word. Because there's a smoothness, to English. When someone's speaking smoothly, they're kind of speaking and they're using the intonation to kind of go up and down, but there's really no break between words, except for those natural, pauses and things that.
So as long as I can move from one word to the other smoothly, then I don't have to try to force myself to link it.
Exactly. Yeah. So that when you just kind of think about smoothly moving from one word to the next, that's what linking is. So you don't even have to think of, oh, you know, how exactly am I linking it? Just think, I'm just going to move from one word to the next as smoothly as I possibly can.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. Good.
Yes.
Good. Keep practicing. You're doing awesome. As you were reading, I was just thinking, oh man, she's come so far. I love this. So fun. Good job, Wen.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. I think that's it for us today, but we'll look forward to having kind of more smaller study sessions like this throughout the week, and we'll try out different times because I know some people are not able to come at this specific time this week, so or during the week. So we'll switch it up, and I'm excited. We're getting more participation in these webinars, and so that we can do more with them. So thank you for coming today. I appreciate it. And we'll see you again at the next webinar. And go ahead and register for that on your profile page. And we'll just kind of keep these going until we make the switch to the Pronunciation Pro community page. And I'll explain how that's going to all work when the time comes. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.